forms of AI have been around for over a decade. And when we look at personalization as an example, personalization exists in advertising too. And personalization has tried to use AI and quite effectively to scale to create personalized ads by looking at people's profiles and then trying to create the right kind of content for that. One of the big challenges when it comes to doing personalization through advertising or email or websites or anything else is the content you create for it. So you take this goal of saying, I'm trying to get a whole bunch of people to come in, but in order to do that, you really have to kind of make smaller segments or audiences that you're trying to reach with very personalized content. And that's true for all different parts of marketing. One of the biggest cost barriers is time. And the second big cost barrier is actually the cost of creating personalized content to go along with that effort of creating these ads or website experiences. And so what AI is doing now is it's lowering that cost. It's lowering the cost of time. It's lowering the cost of actual financial spend as well, making it possible for people to do more with less. The first step, the biggest challenge I think for most people in the marketing space right now is that everybody wants to get into AI, but no one really knows how to do it very well yet. And so that's why in the opening keynote today with Mark, and what we're going to talk about more tomorrow in the marketing keynote, is that we're providing tools that make it easier for brands to understand how they can use AI effectively. And we're also making them available inside the products that they use day to day anyways. And so instead of having to go out to a separate system and work with that system and then copy and paste your content back into our system, you can work directly within our system with these AI models and have that be a faster, more streamlined process to get to your content. So I think to your question around challenge, while it is a challenge to understand how do I use AI effectively, we are also doing things that we think will make that challenge less of a burden for customers. We are making it available in our products for customers to use. There is a small cost to the
extra cost
to the tokens used. So when you're engaging with an AI system, the interaction with that AI system usually uses credits or tokens to interact with it. The small cost that we have is relative to our engagement with these systems, and then just making sure that works in our system. But the technology itself is right there and ready to use for our customers, and it's really exciting for them to build. Yeah, well, we're starting here at this event. We're showing people what can be done. We have at our demo stations here on the show floors access for people to use it. And when we make it available in our products, we're going to be spending time with each of our customers, helping them understand the value that they can get from this as well. And we're going to continue to look for other ways to make sure that they can see that functionality and get access to it and use it as well. But we will be putting learning programs into our Trailhead program. They give customers access to learning, and you'll see more of that learning made available to our customers in the most easy way we possibly can.
I think it will allow for a lot more scale and personalization. And so, sometimes I'll talk to a customer and we'll talk about how many segments they have. But they can have 1,000 segments, but if they only have 4 ads or 4 pieces of content, you have 4 segments, right? And so I think what we're going to really see through here is just the ability to create a lot more, whether it be the imagery, the headlines, kind of connected to different offers, so that between AI helping you create ads and AI helping you create segments, we'll just be able to have much more segments with many less people per segment in them. Marketers are really forced to start thinking more than they have in the past about first-party data and first-party data strategies, and also zero-party data. I think we're seeing at some point the eventual end of the third-party cookie. It seems like the date for that keeps changing, but a lot of marketers, I think, for a long time were really basing their campaigns, even with data though, off of the third-party, working with the walled gardens, working with the partners. And I think that the evolution is going to be really here is this idea of how do I use that first party. How do I use what I know about this customer, building these kind of first-party strategies, building out more customer data there, and then really using that for those data-driven campaigns. So, it's become more about a relationship that an individual has with a brand more than a brand going off and buying information on it. I think the brand needs to be authentic to the brand. And so I think a lot of this comes into, is it a value of the brand? Is it part of that brand's actual culture? I think if it's inauthentic, it doesn't land. But I do think that there's a big part that all of us as just humans don't just buy a product because we like a product. We also buy products because we believe in those companies. And some of the reason we believe in those companies can often be that that company aligns with my values. And I think that, again, if it's authentic to a brand, I think it's something that they should be, a story they should be telling and making it be part of their narrative. This is going to be, there's so much change happening right now, is sorting through, what's real and what's not real. How do I prioritize what I should implement? A lot of organizations are going to try to capitalize on the current, there's just so much change happening with AI that I think you're going to see some companies have kind of jump into it and not necessarily have a real solution or a real product, or at least not one that actually adds value to the customer. And others are, kind of building out new ones. So I think a lot of it right now is, I'll just have to learn it. Like I've learned more about prompts and grounding and enrichment and large language models and small language models and vector databases and all things that I have a computer engineering degree and I haven't thought about these things in 20 years. We want to help all of our customers build relationships with their customers. And so I think for us, we want to be that advisor. We want to be that partner. And I think just, a kind of goal and challenge for that aspect is, things are changing really fast, and so we have to adapt to change really fast. If we want to continue to be there and be that partner for our customers so that they can be partners with their end customers, we have to move at the pace the industry is moving at. And I think you've seen that this year, where we've gone from, ChatGPT wasn't a thing this time last year, to having generally available products today that leverage generative AI capabilities.
Just, I think in the retail and the consumer goods, some of the big trends, and I'm thinking about like all of the we have a connected shopper report we run every 2 years. That's where we get to ask like 1,500 retailers about the same number of consumers, what's happening in the world. It's like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What are the big trends that you're seeing? And a lot of the trends kind of touched on the top line and the bottom line. Some of the trends that I actually thought were super interesting. So in my past life, I cared deeply about the planet, about sustainability. I thought it was really interesting that a really big percentage, bigger than before, it was like 12%, of consumers are actually going to shop this holiday season, and they're going to buy from e-commerce. So that is like thrift stores. They're going to buy used things. They're going to buy, and it's for the planet, and it's also to save money. So there's a pretty big shift, and I think there's also this like big question, which is we can no longer treat the planet like we're treating it. Consumers care deeply about that, and they also want to be able to save money. So there's a really big push around sustainability, which I actually think is awesome. Big trend we're seeing. Customers don't buy, or they don't go into a store and that's it, right? A lot of times they want to go to, if there's a brick and mortar, they want to go and feel the fabric and feel it. Yes. And then maybe they'll get on their app and they'll see if they can get a better discount than they can in store. And then or if there's a better exchange policy on digital than there is in retail, like customers are really smart. They put it in their cart, and then maybe they're on TikTok. They haven't purchased it.
The young customer.
And then they get an ad that's served up with like, hey, you have this in your cart. Why don't you transact right here? We'll give you a discount. So it's the idea of like, again, how do you create this incredible experience wherever your customers are? It has to be seamless. It has to be personalized. It has to be in a way that makes customers feel seen and understood, but not in a creepy way where it's like, I understand you too much. So I think that's a really important differentiator that a lot of customers are leaning into, or brands. And then there's also the service side of it. I think customer service, for whatever reason, maybe because it's a cost center, there's not a lot of innovation that brands and retailers have historically put into the customer service side of it. But now those associates, those service agents are on the front line. They are responsible for creating an incredible experience. And now they're responsible for doing a lot more, right? So if you're giving like an agent the right tech, let's say that I bought something, I sent it to the wrong address. I want to be able to not have to call up and talk to someone. I want to be able to go into WhatsApp, which is I use a lot, or I want to be able to go to the website, click on the chat, and I want to say, hey, I want them to know immediately who I am, what I need. I want to be able to make that change right in that chat experience. And then I want them maybe to upsell me something like, hey, you bought these pair of pants. How about I give you the shoes for a discount? Grocery stores are really interested in improving their margins. And again, with the with first party data being so important, a lot of grocery stores are standing up retail media platforms, so they're actually they're opening up their store for retail, for media companies to come in and to place ads, because it's going to help increase stickiness, it's going to help increase revenue. So yeah, I think it's good. I feel like it's a big trend, but I haven't yet seen whether or not that trend is actually resulting in like something that's going to be staying. Yeah, but it's retail media, retail health, really big trends that we've seen over the last couple of years. But I think it's too early to tell whether this is actually going to be a staying, innovation or staying trend. I think the opportunities, like there is one, my favorite innovation that we launched as a cloud. It's called our Commerce Concierge.
Okay.
And this is the ability to offer conversational shopping assistance on any channel.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example. You went to Yosemite, right? And maybe you've never been, you don't know about the weather. You could basically go on to your favorite brand and you can say, I'm going to Yosemite this time of year. Help me create a packing list. Oh, and I really like this thing that I saw someone wear, these shoes. Do you have something like it? And so now with our technology, we're able to identify exactly what's in that picture. We know who you are based on data, right? We have data cloud, the retailer, let's imagine they have data cloud. So we know that you're a loyal customer. We have all of your shopping history. We have any cases that were opened. We're able to analyze the picture and we're able to get you a fast answer back on, here are the 10 things you should bring. Here's the weather that's gonna be. And you have a credit on your account. Would you like us to use this to purchase? So you just have this amazing opportunity to I think it's not a challenge. I think it's an opportunity where shopping has just changed completely. Where storefronts, like just generic storefronts, are no longer how brands and retailers should be thinking about their future. It's about these conversational experiences where, again, they can ask any question in natural language, they can upload photos, any unstructured data, and they can get fast answers. So I think it's less about the challenge for us, and I think it's more about the challenge for retailers on how do we think about our tech stack? How do we think about our differentiation that's authentic to who we are, the ethos of who we are, and how do we deliver these incredible experiences?